What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the NuSupply effects kits for FansToys Recorder and the Deformation Space Recording Alliance, their versions of Masterpiece blasters. Now, NuSupply sent me a ton of stuff to take a look at, and they're actually pretty cool as you combine them together. So we're going to kind of build in this review up to the sound stage, which you probably saw in the thumbnail for this video. Now, just a couple things. My recording alliance has been customized. I customized it into Twincast. Still works, all the accessories, but I just want to mention that. And the other thing is, most of the accessories we're going to look at are designed for this guy here, for the FansToys. But there is sets and kits available that fit this guy as well. So with that being said, let's get started. We're going to start off by looking at the DJ Coffin, is what he calls it, which includes a bunch of accessories, but it looks really cool. You can see this is like a DJ table. These wheels actually turn. I don't know if it's intentional, but it kind of makes a clicking sound as you turn it, but it's pretty cool. And it's got all the knobs and sliders and everything. It looks really cool. But if you open this up, you can see there are all of these adapters for their tapes. So if you are familiar, this NuSupply also had made a kit for the FansToys Soundwave, and I believe it worked for the Takara Soundwave as well. So you're going to need to use this adapter here, and actually I think this can store in here too if you wanted to, but this adapter designed specifically for this guy. But not to fret, you have also an adapter designed for this guy if you prefer. And in order to install it, you're going to open up the chest here. I forgot which button. There we go. Make sure this back plate is pushed back all the way. And you're going to take this piece here. You can see there's a little slot. And that's going to slide onto this yellow piece on the bottom of his chest. All right, so get this down into here. Slide that forward. Then you're going to hold that down, and you're going to release that back panel, and that will lock this into place very, very sturdily. He mentioned to me that there were suggestions from people who had bought the acoustic wave set to tighten that up. So I'm gonna just take this off, and this new design really does that. It really locks into place. So same for this guy actually. If you open this up, this works a little bit differently. There's this block right here that'll fit in front of this deck plate. And then these two will hook over this little hole on the sides. So it's kind of a slightly different design, but that's also very secure in there. So that goes like that. And now we can use these adapters. So I'm going to show you the alt mode adapters, and these are for the FansToys tapes. So you can see the yellow one obviously is for their steel jaw. The brown one is going to be for their version of ram horn, and then the other ones are a little bit trickier to find, but not too bad. You have this one, which is actually a similar design to what they did. But that's going to be for the robot tapes, rewind and eject. So that just fits right back here. So let's get these guys on. So I'll start off with this guy here. So this actually clips onto the bottom. It is 3D printed. Everything is 3D printed. It's actually really nicely done. The clear on this is very clear. Like, he's getting better at that. It has a ball joint too, which that's kind of new. He hasn't had a ball joint on everything. That's pretty neat. It allows you to angle it, but this is going to slide up and onto here, just like that. And it does sit nice and sturdy on the ball joint. And then that's going to plug in right here. This will put a little bit more weight towards the front because you have him, pretty far out. So just be aware of that. You have to balance his legs. But now let's do steel jaw here, and again, same thing. You can see the adapter kind of slides on and clips in. Haven't had any issues with these as far as, the 3D printed plastic cracking or anything, but you do want to be careful what it is not manufactured in a factory. It's 3D printed, but it does seem pretty sturdy. Same thing for this one. You're going to plug this in right here, and now steel jaw could be jumping out of the chest as well. Very neat. And last but not least, we'll get this guy. So this guy, and you can do both, either one. I'm going to use this blue one here. This will plug into the back of his leg. Very similar to how he did the Rumble and Frenzy from the FansToys set. That will plug in. There's a third hole right here on the side. You can plug that into there. All right, and there you go. There he is with the tapes jumping out of his chest. It looks really cool. It's just a cool effect. And you can kind of be pointing. I do recommend you balance him so that he's angled back just a little bit, because these are heavy tapes, they're made out of die cast. So he will be, tend to lean forward. I don't have any issue here. He's not falling down. But you just want to be careful with that as you pose it. But that's a really cool effect. I really think you did a good job on this. And for this guy, we will use the other tape I have left, so we don't have to take all those off. And it comes with these adapters. There's a couple of different tape adapters which have the 2 pegs to go into the tape wheels. So you can just plug those in there. And you got to get the right adapter for the right tape. But that fits on just like that. And then you can plug this in here. And now you can be ejecting his tapes. So you can do this effect with the deformation space if you don't have the FansToys. My personal preference is, of course, the FansToys. But since we have both, that's pretty cool. All right, next we're going to take a look at the speaker blast effects kit. So this is pretty cool. You get 2 of these speakers, a left and a right. They are identical. But what is done here is he's stored the accessories as part of the speaker. So you can see on the side it says Cybertron Sound Systems. On the top it says NuSupply Effects. It's a really cool looking speaker. When you come to the back, you can see there's blast effects stored in one of the speakers. So typical for the NuSupply stuff, we get a nice blast effect for the gun. We get a smoke effect for the gun. And then we get an adapter for the speakers, which I'll show you in a minute. And if we come to the front, you can actually remove these speakers from here. Same for this one down here. You can remove that. And then this blast effect, just be careful with it, but you can remove it. It's pegged in to the inside of this. You can see there's a peg right in there. And by the way, there is a panel on each side, and there's actually storage for something else. I'm not sure if he's planning to expand it or include another speaker, because this speaker will actually fit in here. So I don't know if he just drilled a hole in there or left the blank, but it looks like there's an expansion space. But either way, we can set these to the side. And by the way, when you pick this out on the website, you're going to choose whether you want it for the recording space or the FansToys. Just choose which one you want, because they are fit specifically for that figure. So let's start by looking at the blast effects. So we get this one, typical good-looking blast effect that we get from NuSupply. That looks pretty nice. We also get this smoke effect, that he's just shot off the weapon. That looks good. We also get this adapter. That'll fit over the hand, just like the original speaker. But the purpose of that is to attach this smaller speaker. So if you want, you could be using this smaller speaker. And then you can, let's take out this gun here for a second. You can also use his bigger speaker here, which will fit over the head, again, just like the original one. And then this attaches to that speaker, and that's kind of the beauty of this effects kit. Like, that looks cool. It's an effect of sound, not of a weapon. So I really like that. Now, of course, you get 2 because you get 2 speakers. So you could have one on each hand. You could have him blasting that music. But like I said, he also made use of everything in this speaker, because you can use the little speaker or the big speaker or the blast effects, and everything stores inside them. They're really cool. Now, this is a pre-production sample, so there'll be maybe some minor changes to the final. But you can get different colors also. So if you prefer, you can get gold and blue. So you get gold for this side panels, and then you get gold for the speakers, and then blue for the effect. So if you like that color, you can do that if you don't like the gray. And then there'll be a special edition done in orange, and same thing, it's got gold for the side panels, it's got gold for the speakers, and then it's got red. And I just want you to see, you've probably seen the blue before, but let's take a look. So here's the red. That looks really good. So you can kind of choose. Now this one, he said it was a limited edition, so I don't know if it's pre-order only or how many he's going to make. I think it's a limited amount if you like the orange. But either way, you can kind of choose, you know, what's the best color for your display or your setup, so you can have it. All right, I almost forgot, one of the coolest features of this is you can combine and work with the other effects kit, which had all of the tape effects. So these speakers are designed to fit right under here for the DJ table. So you can have him spinning records, and I'm not going to pose him because we are going to do that in a minute. But if you want, you can combine these two sets together to form this. So you'd have to get the Ejector FX kit and then the speaker FX kit. And now you could have this look, which I think is really cool. For display purposes, this is probably how I would have it displayed. All right, and if you want the ultimate Masterpiece Blaster display piece, then this is it. This is called the NuSupply Wall of Sound. It comes in a bunch of different configurations. So I'm going to go through all those configurations, but just know that you kind of have to decide which way you want to go. And you can, of course, add on to it. You can buy the different inserts separately. But this is a background designed to fit perfectly in a DTOF. So you can see this piece right here, which is the base of it, is designed to fit dimension-wise into a DTOF. And you can see I have a wire back there. I'll talk about that in a minute. Up here, you've got a little notch. So that notch is to allow you to run wiring if you've got lighting in your DTOF, to allow that wiring to run across the top from the back, so that you don't have to, you know, squeeze that wire. So this comes in 3 different modes. We're going to go through each mode and show you what they look like. But first, let's put this together. So this is 2 pieces. You're going to take this, and there's 2 pegs right here, the 2 white pegs. Just plug those in to the back of this and get those secured. Then we're going to take these side speaker pieces and plug those into here. And very simple construction, and it's very sturdy as well. Right. And then you can take these little drawers. Now this is like little storage compartments, so if you want to store something in there, you can do that. But these are just going to slide right in here. And then you put in the insert, which goes down right into here. Now you have to decide which one you want. I'm going to show you first what he calls the standard mode. So standard mode looks like this. It's got some speaker inserts in here, same like the one I just showed you. These will pull out, except these are not drawers, but you can store tapes in this. So standard size Takara or FansToys tapes will fit in here. Let's see if I can try one. Oh yeah, fits perfectly. So you can put these in here, and then you can display them if you want. You can display the tapes in the background. Me personally, I probably wouldn't do that because I'd have them transformed into their alt mode and put them like that, but that's a nice option you have. Or you can just leave them like that. And then this is going to slide down into here. And I dropped one of these. Let's just put that back in. And then these 3 pegs up here are going to attach to a mega speaker. It goes on the top, and it has that same little groove so you can run the wiring. But this is going to run and plug in right here. And it's angled downward, so it's angled like a little bit down this way. So that groove is still straight on the top. But look at that. That's really cool. Now you can have Blaster or Twincast or whoever in front of this. Now the cool part about this is combining it with the other stuff I already showed you. So if we take those speakers, for example, actually let's bring in the gold ones, and we bring in the DJ Coffin table, as he calls it, or the turntables, and just plug that into the top. Now you've got him in this scene, and he could be, you know, scratching records and doing whatever. But that is really cool. You can just combine these things together and have him, you know, really actually DJing. And like I said, this is perfect for a DTOF. So you can have other characters, you can have other tapes. And in a minute, I'm going to show you ways to display the tapes in this setup. But I just think this is a really cool idea. Especially for people who display their figures in DTOFs, this is a nice option for displaying them. But that's not it. So let's show you the other option. So if we take this insert out, and it just slides right out. Another option is what he's calling the MMC tape option. So this will just slide right into here. It's a similar dimensions, but this will allow you to take MMC tape covers and put them in here. Now the ones I have an outlay. They're not an inlay. They're not inside the tape cover. They're outside the tape cover. So the dimensions are a little bit different. So I am going to be sending him my tape so he can redimension it to these if you need them. But these will actually fit in here as well. So if you want to put the inserts in there, you can do that. Or you can put these tape covers in here if you want. But the whole idea here, or you can put the tapes themselves in there. Now I would never put the tape in there because I'd want them transformed. So more than likely I would put these little backgrounds in here. And that's just kind of neat. Like you can kind of show off the tape cover or the artwork. Now I think he said he was going to work on making this vertical so that the direction is the other way. Because these tapes, the way they did the artwork for the TFCon exclusives, they made it vertical like this. So I think he's going to end up flipping this around. But that's a really cool option. If you have the MNC tapes, you could have them all kind of around him. And you could have that option. That's not all. The last option is this screen option. So this screen is actually sold separately. So it's a little LED board. Looks like this. And I'm just going to show you the box because this you have to purchase separately if you want it. He doesn't sell it, but it looks like this. It's called Pixel Display. And I'm trying to see the company here. i.matrix. So it is powered by USB Type-C. And, you know, it's basically controlled by your phone if you want to change the background. So you do have to purchase this part separately, but this will fit into here, like that. And then you're going to take this retaining clip here, and this is going to slide on top, and that'll hold that screen into the background there. And then we can come to the back here. Let's move these characters out of the way. And you can see I have a wire already plugged in, so it was sitting back there, but that's going to plug into the back of that screen. So the best way to do it is actually open this up, feed it through here, and then plug that in to the bottom. And if you come to the back here, you can kind of see that wire will fit perfectly in this little groove. So if this is up against the back of a DTOF, it'll be nice and hidden, so you won't see it. And make sure you put the retaining clip, don't do what I just did, put the retaining clip back in there so it holds your screen and you don't drop it. And then we can bring in Blaster, bring in your DJ, turntables, and now he's really doing his thing. All right, the last option we're going to show you today is the sound stage, which is basically a stage for him to stand out. Now, I believe there'll be an add-on to have a floor, which will go on the bottom of the DTOF shelf. So I'll have a floor right here. But this allows you to have a stage where it's raised. So this has these little trusses that plug in. And this one came with 4, so I don't know if it's going to come with 4. He said this is a pre-production, so it's not the final. But you can see there's 2 little slots on the back ones that will plug into this. And then there's 2 holes here. So if we flip this around, bring this over here, and plug that in, it actually attaches to this rear piece here. And that is really nice and solid. It's not going anywhere. And then, because we have, remember, this is all modular and you can combine them, we can take these speakers, plug that in, put the turntable, coffin table there. And now he's got a stage and a background and everything. It's just, it really is impressive. So final thoughts on the NuSupply effects kits and stage for FansToys recorder and Deformation Space recording lines. I think this is really cool. I really like what they did here. I'm not going to rate this because this was sent to me for free and it is kind of an art piece, but I really like it. If I was personally buying it, I would definitely be getting this setup right here because it just looks really cool on the shelf. Now, if you're a DTOF owner, then this is perfect because it fits right in there and you can kind of have a whole scene in that one shelf of the DTOF and you can kind of decide what you want in the background. So that's really neat. The stage is pretty cool. You will get the floor piece there if you don't want it raised up like this, but I think it looks cooler raised up like that. But either way, really cool piece. Now you can check out NuSupply's website in the link below. There is a pre-order early bird price right now for this piece back here. I think it's $150. It'll go up later. So if you're interested in that, you can pre-order it and save a little bit of money. I think you can combine some of these things. I don't know exactly what the packages are to kind of get things together. But my personal recommendation is to get the speakers, the coffin, and this background. And those 3 things together really display nicely, especially if you have a DTOF. So that's really it for today. Thanks to NuSupply for sending this to me. This actually came in 3 separate boxes, so I appreciate the effort it took to even send it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.